We're going to talk about the CEO.
Oh my gosh.
United Health Group. Okay. CEO, he's going to a meeting. Somebody just says, hey, you know what? Nah, assassination attempt. And unfortunately, that man passed on. Right? He was killed by a random guy. Luigi, I think is his name. Mangione or something like that.
I don't know his name. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I think I've had enough bad experiences with insurance that like and we've had this conversation where I'm like, no, insurance doesn't need to be like that. Like I get really irritated about things like that. And if you've ever I watched this show, I don't remember what it's called, but it's by Mike Myers. It's a documentary, Michael Myers. And it's talking about different healthcare, like in the United States versus Canada versus whatever. And it's talking about how like all of these people with these horror stories about paying insurance for years and years and years.
And then when you need it.
Yeah. And then when you need it, and you see this across everything, like medical insurance, home insurance, car insurance, right? Like you pay insurance for years and then you need it. And all of a sudden they're like, yeah, cool, we'll cover some of it. And you're like, y'all didn't even cover half of what I paid this year in deductibles. Like what the heck is going on? And so I hate it. Like I think insurance is like a fraud. I really do.
To a degree. And like I think the idea of insurance is good, but like I feel like they got their hands on in ways that have crept the price up of everything to where it's like a monopoly, right?
Yeah.
I guess I've heard rumors to where like if you go to like pharmacists, they can't tell you how much stuff is if you want to pay out of pocket.
That's so
because
annoying.
And they're not allowed to tell you, but you can ask. And you probably should. So I remember one time, who was it? One of our kids had like a tooth infection, or they were going through some pain and they needed to get some pain medicine. It might have been Mimi. And no, it was Maya. It was Maya when she was getting she had a toothache. We had to get that fixed.
Well, she ended up having to have her tooth pulled.
Yeah. But before, they wanted to get her on some antibiotics.
Yes.
And some pain medicine. And because of their kids, the pain medicine that they had was really hard to come by. So I went to a couple of different local places. They didn't have it in the right kid dosage. And I'm frustrated. And then I go to there's like this specialty shop that whips it up right then and there, which I'm not sure why not all pharmacists do. Maybe they do. I don't know. And they were like, yeah, we could get it. And the guy looked at it and he said, hey, your insurance won't cover it. And I'm like, what? What do you mean my insurance won't cover it? And I'm over here like shivering in my boots. He's like, yeah, it's supposed to cost this much. The insurance won't cover it. That you might need to go to the doctor and get a different like prescription. And I was like, no way. And I was like, well, and this was me asking just a stupid question just to figure out if there's holes. I'm flustered. I'm like, well, how much is it if I just pay for it? And he's like, let me go look. He goes to the back. He looks. It's $14. So here I am like, oh, I'm cooked. But then all of a sudden it was like, wait a second. With insurance, if they would have covered it, I would have paid like $60 for this medicine. And then they would have paid a little bit as well. And then all of a sudden I go and pay cash for it and it's $25. Like, how is it? It ain't even cheaper for me to have insurance right now.
No, it's crazy. And here's the other thing. So my cousin just had a baby. And yesterday I went and hung out with her at the, and like held the
cousin.
Baby.
Okay.
Held her baby and we sat and talked. And so she was telling me that her baby, so all of her kids have, her husband has some like heart complications
yeah,
or
arrhythmias.
and then her children also, because of that, they are genetic, her children will each have it as well, right? So her baby, they found out that her baby had this heart thing, and usually they'll just go to the cardiologist a week later, but they were like, well, we're going to put him in the NICU. And she was like, he's my fourth baby. I've never had this happen before. Like usually we just go to the cardiologist a week later and, they do all the scans
been through this
and
because
stuff.
All of our kids have it, right?
Right. And they were like, well, we're going to keep him and we're going to keep him in the NICU. And she was like, okay. So they keep him in the NICU for 2 days. And in that time, there was never a time, day or night, that mom or dad was not there. She's nursing, so they didn't have to, he could eat on his own. So she nursed him. She changed all of his diapers. They would bring him medicine, like the little drop medication where you just essentially feed it to them. And they would just give it to her and she would feed him the medication. He didn't require any like needles or whatever, right? Like they would take his blood sugar every once in a while. But she was like, I pretty much did everything. Like me and my husband for 2 days.
It cost him like $100,000
$10,000 for 2 days. And she didn't, just for the NICU. That's not her delivery. That's not the anesthesiologist. That's not, she was like looking at her itemized bill and she said that they were charging her like $25 a pop per ibuprofen.
Oh, yeah.
And so she was like the Tux pads that they give you right after you have a baby, they give you this little tiny container that has like 15 Tux pads in it because, you just delivered a baby and it was like $100.
Yeah.
Just for this thing. And she's like, I came home and I got like quadruple that amount for like $6 at the store.
And it's not because they're better. Like, don't come with
they're the exact same. And quite frankly,
worse.
The hospital doesn't give you anything better. You look at the blankets that they're wrapping babies in, like they're not coming out of anywhere to try to give you a good quality of anything. They're literally giving you the same medication that you could get somewhere else.
It's like, where can I get it? The most profit margin.
Yes, and it's not like they're giving me better ibuprofen. I'm getting the same ibuprofen that I could just get at the store, $8 for 100 and something pills. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy business. So all of that to say, Kate, like, I totally understand why someone
not cool to kill someone.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
However,
but what I was saying though is I think this person has to have had some type of experience because he didn't target a health insurance CEO for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, I am curious to know if there is a backstory where insurance failed him or a family member in some way to where he felt so strongly that was necessary. Like, I just want to know why.
Yeah. Well, and apparently, like, even when you look at the pictures of the individual, like, I saw the picture, I was like, you know what? I would hang out with the dude that's supposed to be the bad guy. And then they're, like, trying to make me feel bad for an image of Lex Luthor. And I'm like, I don't know that I rock with you. I see the seedy eyes. Now, that being said, I'm sorry for your wife and your kids.
Oh, 100%. Like, it's not okay and it's sad, but it's just one of those things where the backstory, again, backstory doesn't justify, okay? But I am curious as to what his reasoning was. Like, why that person?
I just think that's another person that got fed up with the system. And
100%.
Is done with it. And quite frankly, when I think the guy made millions and millions and millions of dollars, and it's like, I can't get my health care taken care of, but you get to go live on a yacht. And I'm sure those are, and granted, that's the way this world works. That's the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. Like, you get in the right spot and you do seedy things, and sometimes you get paid exceptionally well for it, right?
Sure.
But
it's like, it's not all ethical. It's kind of like on The Incredibles, where he's like, listen, you gotta say this, and then you gotta start crying, and then you gotta pretend like I denied you. However, go to this other place because it's because it's like, that's totally how it is.
Like,
and
the insurance company.
Yes, and
100%.
he's like, listen, there's a place. Go somewhere else.
Who's
go
looking
there.
out for the shareholders?
I know, exactly. But that's totally how it is. They all know. Like, it's not like people are like, listen, yes, this makes complete sense. We get it. You're just like. They get it, okay? Like, they get it, but it's their job. Like, it's their job. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting as it moves forward now that they found the guy to see if he comes out and says, like, why or what happened.
Well, yeah, he got arrested, yelled some stuff, and I don't know that it makes a whole lot of sense. He's probably a little bit crazy. Let's call it
100%. I mean, you kind of would need to be, quite frankly, you would need to be in a certain frame of mind.
You know what was funny, though? When I saw the picture of the CEO, you remember I used to sell to healthcare.
Yeah.
I think I've been on a Zoom.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, I think that's possible.
That's wild.
So that's definitely a face. I've seen it on LinkedIn a couple of times. I'm for sure have emailed him. He definitely hasn't emailed me back because I wasn't at that level. But I think I've been on a Zoom call with. I definitely worked with the UHG, UHC, all of them.
That's
But
crazy.
That's crazy. Small world.